Welcome back to Total Extreme Wrestling 2020. This is CelJaded playing Tuesday, week 4 of February 2006 on the Shifting Sands mod. And this is the first episode of SmackDown following the SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view No Way Out. So we've got some fallout to get to here on this episode. But before we do anything else, of all things, we have a match. I know, folks, on a wrestling show, this is a shocker. But stick with me here because look at this segment rating for William Regal beating Funaki in a quick squash match here. This was just a little way to kind of start off the show and get William Regal some momentum, of course. And wow, these two, what a great performance here. So I can only assume that this bonus for starting the show off strong has really boosted this one into the stratosphere, really, for what's just a quick squash match between Regal and Funaki. What a great squash it is. So William Regal here with a Rey Mysterio / Kurt Angle levels of performance. Absolutely tremendous stuff from him. So yeah, this guy is really riding the wave of momentum that we've created for him here, because just look at that. That is really, really good. So William Regal here, this was just meant to be a setup to the next segment, which I hope is going to do justice by that. Same rating, 70, so there it is. So nonetheless, coming on strong here then, it is William Regal grabbing the microphone after his match there and inviting The Undertaker to come out here and start something right now. So spinning out of the story we saw at No Way Out, where The Undertaker blocked William Regal from continuing his assault on Roddy Piper, and now the Regal has taken exception to The Undertaker's actions there and is telling the man to get out here and start something. He wants to fight. William Regal's ready to fight. Let's do it right now. So William Regal calling out The Undertaker, and sure enough, the gong sounds, folks, and here he comes. It is the dead man himself with an even stronger segment rating. What an opening to the show this has turned into. And this is a nice long segment we've given these two here, which is probably a reason for that high rating. A nice long segment where The Undertaker, he obviously does his entrance, the full kind of show here, with the outfit, the hat, the lights, the mist, everything. William Regal now waiting in the ring for The Undertaker, and The Undertaker grabs his mic and quickly denounces Regal for what he did at the pay-per-view and what he's been doing in recent weeks. So, of course, William Regal, the story here with him, he had a change of attitude. He's gone back to his Street Fighter roots. He's been stretching younger guys and workers on the roster that Regal thinks are beneath him. He claims that the locker room went soft. And yeah, it's a total character change for William Regal here. And The Undertaker did approve of this at first. He liked to see William Regal show some teeth and call out the soft locker room. Undertaker was on board with this. But things have gone too far here. And it was Roddy Piper, of course, who stood up to Regal. And he got knocked down at No Way Out. And now The Undertaker has stood up to Regal and says, look, while I agree with some of what you're saying, you're not going about it the right way. Take it from someone who knows everything there is to know about fear and of respect. This isn't the way. You're doing this wrong, Regal. And by calling The Undertaker out here, he says, you've made a huge mistake. But I'm going to do you a favour, The Undertaker says. Undertaker is offering to do William Regal a favour by leaving. So The Undertaker heads out onto the apron. He's about to leave the ring and kind of leave this situation behind him when Regal still has his own microphone in hand, of course, and calls The Undertaker a bloody coward. You're a bloody coward! And yeah, that very much pokes the hornet's nest. Undertaker re-enters the ring, but of course now it's William Regal taking a powder himself, exiting the ring and kind of with a scowl on his face, kind of retreating now to the backstage area with one eye on The Undertaker. And yeah, how do you like this, folks? William Regal just called The Undertaker a coward. So clearly this issue between these two men there is an issue between these two men, clearly, and it's not going away anytime soon. So a great opening to the show here. Really good stuff from William Regal, and The Undertaker, of course, keeping pace with him. Exactly what we want to see here as SmackDown comes on the air. So nice stuff. And then we've got Shane McMahon, who is announcing tonight's main event, where Mark Henry will face Bobby Lashley one-on-one. So, of course, this spins out of the world title match, the triple threat from No Way Out. It was Mark Henry and Bobby Lashley, both failing to dethrone Dave Batista to become the World Heavyweight Champion. And the issue between Mark Henry and Bobby Lashley, of course, only got worse at the pay-per-view when these two brawled to the backstage area. Each man kind of cost each other the title in that match is kind of the story we have here. So now, to kind of settle things between these two men, Shane McMahon says Mark Henry will face Bobby Lashley one-on-one. So yeah, great match. Hopefully coming up later in the program in our main event slot. And then Shane McMahon switches gears a little bit. We've got him backstage now after that segment where Shane McMahon is looking pretty happy with himself, of course, and tells his allies, Melina, Nitro, and Mercury, M&M, of course, that things will be getting back to normal now, that the Mexicals' little rebellion has been crushed. So Shane McMahon very happy here on this episode of SmackDown. Of course, the Mexicals were put in a series of unfair tag matches at No Way Out by Shane McMahon. It was a gauntlet for them, and it was a handicap match awaiting them at the end of that gauntlet, where Nitro and Mercury and Kid Cash and Jamie Noble managed to defeat the Mexicals in that handicap match. So Shane McMahon really did a number on the Mexicals. They're not booked to be here or scheduled to be here tonight. Definitely need some rest and recovery time after everything they went through at the pay-per-view. So Shane McMahon saying, yes, everything is coming up Shane once again, because SmackDown is now firmly back under his control. I'm sure nothing else will go wrong for Shane. So next we have Brian Kendrick and Paul London, who welcome their tag team partner for tonight, Matt Hardy. So Matt Hardy was in action at the pay-per-view where he faced The Miz in a bitter grudge match that solved absolutely nothing between the two men. It happens once in a while on pay-per-view. But yes, so the Hooligans here will be teaming up with Matt Hardy in a 6-man tag team match, which we're going to get to right now. And there you have it, folks. It is Matt Hardy and the Hooligans defeating Stevie Richards. And in another of our series of cameos here, yes, you're not seeing things, folks. It is the Dicks. Chad Dick and James Dick. I swear to goodness, I have literally never seen these two before in my life. I have no idea who they are, but judging by the gimmick, I don't think I want to know. But yes, this is just another in a series of cameos here, just to let you, the viewer, in on what awaits you if you ever choose to book a 2006 save on TEW using the WWE, because yeah, this is the talent in the tag team division that you've got to work with, folks. And yeah, unsurprisingly, we have not used much of the Dicks on this save so far. So this was our little cameo just to show you what it is that I'm having to work with in this mid-card and in this tag team division. But hey, you know what? Terrible performance from these two as expected, but we got a decent segment rating out of it nonetheless. So good stuff here. Stevie, Kendrick and Hardy and London, actually, yeah, all putting in a good performance. So it's just the Dicks dragging us down, unfortunately. So yeah, sorry folks, you probably won't see them again, but nonetheless, just someone that can take an L here in this match. So good stuff. And then we've got Brian Kendrick and Paul London celebrating their victory over Stevie Richards and the Dicks, when Matt Hardy grabs a mic and says that he wants a rematch with The Miz next week. So Matt Hardy, of course, pleased about winning that match over Stevie Richards and the Dicks, but he doesn't want the Dicks. He wants The Miz. So The Miz, of course, on Matt Hardy's mind, he wants another piece of Miz, and he wants it next week. Will he get it? We'll just have to wait and find out later. But, great stuff here. It is our World Heavyweight Champion improvising well, which is what we love to see. And it is Batista talking about his success at No Way Out. Of course, he defended his World Heavyweight Championship at No Way Out in a 3-way against Bobby Lashley and Mark Henry in a match that definitely exceeded my expectations. So good stuff from Dave there. But Dave isn't taking too much time to talk about himself, because he wants to talk about the main event tonight, where he is picking, unsurprisingly, Bobby Lashley as the winner in tonight's main event. So Batista already looking like a gambling man here, picking Bobby Lashley to win the main event. Is he going to be right? We'll have to wait later to find out. But for now, we are back with M&M here. It is Johnny Nitro and Joey Mercury accompanying their manager Melina to the ring, where Melina will be taking part in a women's match, one-on-one. Coming up next, And there it is, and an okay match at that. So it is Melina getting the win here over Michiko Omukai, who finally getting our Joshi wrestlers some one-on-one time after they've been featured in various tag matches up to now. And we're still battling kind of inexperience penalties for Melina, but matches like this with a capable performer like Omukai will definitely help raise that experience meter. So all going according to plan here with Melina. The segment ratings are climbing, and looking more and more like a star in each one. So good stuff here from her, and we are still sticking with her here because it is Melina bragging about her men taking over Monday Night Raw this week. So if you'd seen that episode, it was Johnny Nitro and Joey Mercury invading Raw, if you like, crossing brands, opening the forbidden door perhaps, and heading over to Raw, and it was them interrupting the main event and stealing the main event spotlight from Big Show of Kane, of course, and Melina now claiming that her men, the WWE champions, the tag team champions, are the superior champions. So definitely a very pointed remarks here from Melina aimed at the Raw brand. And as you could probably guess, this does not go down well with the World Heavyweight Champions Big Show and Kane, who are now once again crossing over from Raw onto SmackDown, interrupt this segment and clear the ring before standing tall with their belts. So the Big Show and Kane definitely want themselves a piece of M&M, the opposing champions on the other brand, of course. And we all know where this is leading to. We've talked about it many times. You can see it on the screen there in terms of the story itself, that eventually we're looking to unify these two sets of tag team championships, and we're just sowing more seeds here and kind of establishing the absolute chaos there is in the tag team division, with the tag team champions, of course, from different brands, crossing brands frequently here. These two teams will not be separated. They've got huge egos. They both think they're the best. And what's going to settle it? We'll just have to wait and find out. But for now, some good segment ratings here. Again, bigging up our tag team division. And then next we've got Bobby Lashley, who says he will prove he is stronger than the world's strongest man tonight. And that will be in our main event spot, of course. And it seems we should have scripted Lashley on this occasion, but never mind. It is Bobby Lashley, of course, in our main event slot. And he is looking pretty confident ahead of that match. But before we get there, we have got Trinity alongside The Miz. Her man, of course, and it is Trinity who says she wants Matt Hardy fired for his conduct at the pay-per-view, No Way Out, and The Miz says that he never wants to see Matt Hardy ever again. So, quite the pot calling the kettle black here, with Trinity and The Miz both kind of decrying the actions of Matt Hardy, who tried to shove The Miz's face into a lighter and burn that beautiful face. And of course, it was The Miz and Trinity who burned Matt Hardy when they extinguished a cigar on him. So definitely some heel heat here from Trinity and The Miz. And we'll just have to wait and see where their issue develops next. But for now, we've got Rey Mysterio saying that he is ready for his first round match in the US Championship Tournament. So Rey Mysterio, of course, put in a great match at the pay-per-view at No Way Out when he faced Shane McMahon. And during that match, we had Shelly Martinez standing by his side, fellow Hispanic worker. Shelly, of course, part of the Mexicals faction. And even though Mysterio is not in that faction himself, he is friends with everybody in it. And for the time being, I quite like the pairing of Mysterio and Shelly. And just a way of keeping her on TV while the Mexicals are absent, kind of selling their injuries from the pay-per-view. I thought we'd stick these two together once again. So Shelly Martinez managing Rey Mysterio here ahead of his first round match in the US Championship Tournament, which is coming up next. Alright, and another good match here from Rey Mysterio. We've talked about it before. Whenever you need a good match for your show, this man is there. And Rey Mysterio gets the win over Finlay here, who can't for the life of him keep up with Rey Mysterio. But that's exactly why we've got Rey Mysterio in the mid-card, folks, is to keep giving us strong ratings like this, despite the lack of talent. So, Rey Mysterio, look at that, getting all the bonuses right now. Even if, we've got a few negatives as well. We've got a great segment rating. Another great performance here from Rey Mysterio. Dude is on fire, cannot be stopped right now. And then we are moving on to our next segment here, where Randy Orton is alongside Mark Henry, kind of his ally, of course. And Randy Orton avoids talking about Batista. He doesn't want to talk about Batista. He wants to talk about Mark Henry because this is Mark Henry's time to shine tonight. He has got the one-on-one match with Bobby Lashley. And Henry, for his part here, says that he just wants to kick Lashley's ass. So, the world's strongest man feeling very confident here with Randy Orton by his side. So this match is rapidly approaching now. But before we get there, we're going to cut back to Rey Mysterio, who has just won that match, of course, against Finlay. He has advanced through to the next round of the title tournament when Paul Burchill interrupts to throw some shade at Rey Mysterio, of course, as Paul likes to do. So, who knows? We could be seeing these two one-on-one sometime in the future if Paul Burchill manages to win his first round match. We'll just have to see. So, good stuff here from Rey Mysterio, of course. We'll be seeing him again very soon in the US title tournament. And then we've got ourselves another cameo, this time from the CEO Vince McMahon, crossing over from the Raw brand. And he is here to talk to Shane because he wants to talk about the tag team division. And Vince wants that division back under control. So, of course, we've seen M&M crossing over to Raw. Big Show and Kane are crossing over to SmackDown. There are fights every single week seem to be breaking out between various tag teams. All sorts of chaos. Shane McMahon, of course, has been involved with the Mexicals recently. Kind of a big tag team as well. So, yeah, Vince McMahon is addressing his son here, Shane, and he wants to know what's going to be done about this situation. But Shane tells the old man not to panic because he actually wants to discuss an idea he has. So Shane McMahon has an idea, something that they can do to sort out this situation with the tag team division. So good stuff here from father and son, giving us a strong segment rating and hopefully hinting at strong things to come in our tag division. We'll just have to wait and see. But now we are back with Bobby Lashley and Mark Henry alongside Randy Orton, of course, and we've got dual shots of these two men as they make their way to their way to the ring for their one-on-one match in our main event slot. But before we get there, it is Batista sitting down at the commentary desk, which seriously annoys Orton. So Randy Orton, of course, is ringside, accompanying Mark Henry. But before the match can begin, Batista kind of makes his way to the ringside area, and he walks straight past Randy Orton with a smile on his face, and he sits down at the commentary desk alongside Michael Cole and Taz. Now, he's not on commentary, he's just sitting there, kind of taking a seat. He wants a front row seat to watch the main event, and Randy Orton is very annoyed at the presence of the World Heavyweight Champion Batista, of course. So Batista now playing some mind games of his own, but nonetheless, our matchup next, the main event, is Mark Henry and Bobby Lashley. We've got Orton and Batista at ringside. Surely a recipe for disaster. But for now, we just have Bobby Lashley getting the win over Mark Henry with a roll-up. It was Randy Orton inadvertently distracting Mark Henry. Him and Batista get into it at ringside. There's an argument breaking out. Henry's distracted by Orton, who's kind of like backed up near the ring apron there. And from behind, it is Bobby Lashley getting the roll-up, as it seems here, and getting a quick win over Mark Henry. Henry is absolutely livid. He can't believe what's just happened. Randy Orton can't believe it. And Batista, definitely with a big smile on his face, as is Bobby Lashley. Because as we advance to our final segment here, it is Batista raising Lashley's hand while Henry trashes the ringside area in anger. So, wow, look at that, folks. Bobby Lashley has gotten the win over Mark Henry. Mark Henry's not happy about it, and Batista seems to have got in Randy Orton's head once too often here for Orton's liking, because Orton now seems to have been embarrassed by the World Heavyweight Champion. Bobby Lashley, of course, and Batista celebrating on the ramp as we go off the air. So great stuff here. An overall rating of 72 for this edition of SmackDown. Some decent matches and some strong angles up and down the card. We had a few performers who kind of struggling without being scripted there, which has cost us a few ratings, but nonetheless, still a good rating for this edition of SmackDown. And yeah, next time we return, it'll be our first show in March 2006. So, and that will be Monday Night Raw, of course. So, hope you enjoyed No Way Out. Hope you enjoyed all the shows this week. Next time we come back, we will be kicking off March on the Shifting Sands mod. Hope to see you then. See you later.